Hi, it's Teja. Humans have a singular affliction in this place called Earth. It's an affliction unique to humans amongst all other earthly beings. And that is that we live our lives, we walk through our lives with the assumption that we have a predicament called, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Things aren't going the way they should be. My life is not going ultimately as well as it needs to go. I need to get somewhere that I'm not already. I need to become more rich. I need to be more happy. I need to become more peaceful. I need to become more spiritually awakened. Now think about it. No other being on earth has this affliction. A rock is very good at being a rock, and it's very good at just sitting there wherever it was placed by awareness. It's fine about being a rock. A tree is just fine about being a tree. It doesn't try to get up and move somewhere else, somewhere better. It doesn't go do yoga or get massages so that it'll become a more comfortable, flexible tree. It doesn't compare the beauty of its branches and leaves to the next tree and then go out and get a bunch of cosmetics to try to make its appearance as beautiful as the next tree. The dolphin, the lion, they don't worry about connecting with the infinite, with pure awareness through some technique, like meditating or becoming more spiritually awake. They're already 100%, 110% connected to awareness. They know that in their own way, they know that. And they just be, they just exist. Pure isness. And they're fine with that. Whereas we humans have this affliction where we're just sure we have this predicament that we're not as connected to the source as we should be, could be, need to be. And that we're somehow cut off and have to do some kind of practices or techniques to return to that. It's a terrible affliction because it means you always feel at least some current of anxiety or uneasiness underneath your daily life. Even if you're doing pretty good financially and your relationships are working out okay, even if you live in a very nice climate and every day is sort of okay or even pretty okay, you probably still have this constant undercurrent of uneasiness that's kind of whispering to you and saying, but I'm not connected to the ultimate permanent peace and happiness. I'm somehow cut off from that, and I need to get back to that. It's not true, and it causes us so much suffering. It's predicated on the mind's erroneous idea that there is a separate I who should and could do specific things to become reunited with the over-I, the over-soul, with awareness. There is no separate I, and there's nothing we need do. It's very important to start with clarity about that, with the foundation that there is no separate I, and there is no predicament called I'm not awake enough, I'm not alive enough, I'm not connected enough to pure awareness, and I need to do that. If we start with a foundation that we are not separate, we're not a separate I, and that we don't have to do anything, there's a relaxation that comes in that lifts a huge weight off everybody's shoulders. Now, when people come to meditations or satsangs or classes or retreats with me, quite often when they come, you can see it in their eyes or hear it in what they request, that they're looking for a technique or an understanding from me that will return them to the state of being one with perfect, pure awareness. When that can't possibly happen, because they can't possibly not already be 100% joined with pure awareness. There's nowhere to go. Pure awareness is everywhere. It's infinite, so there's nothing that could possibly be missing or outside of it, including us. And it's not hiding anywhere. And we are obviously part of that. Infinite means infinite. It means everything. So it's not like pure awareness is everything, except for this group of humans that's sitting in retreat with me asking questions. Those are also pure awareness. There's nowhere to go and nowhere to get to. And yet, it's the most common thing that people come to me or come to other teachers asking for. How do I meditate perfectly so that I get that sense of awakening or enlightenment? So that I go into that place where I'm one with awareness. How do I sit or move or flex or align my body perfectly? How do I think? How do I inquire? How do I use inquiry and study the way that Ramana Maharshi talked about so often? Drilling down, who am I? What am I? Till I can sort of extract the kernel of pure consciousness and pure awareness. Till I know that I'm enlightened and I'm awakened. How do I do that? All of this is about I'm trying to get somewhere else. I'm here now, but it's not good enough. It's okay. Maybe it's even very good. But I'm trying to get somewhere else. I'm trying to go from here to another level, a better place, which of course precludes the ability to just enjoy being in the here and now, doesn't it? And most importantly, it comes from and reinforces the false idea, the false notion that we're not already exactly where we need to be. Our biggest problem is that we take these mental ideas to be truth when in fact they're just ideas. Everything is exactly as it is. Everything is exactly as it is. Everything should be exactly as it is right now. Being who you are, what you are, and where you are is exactly who and what and where you should be right now. There's no need to change. There's nothing that needs to change or improve. Let that sink in. Realization of that, embodiment of that, is the enlightenment you're looking for. Trying to get someplace else better, trying to be a better you in a better place than you currently are, is endarkenment. Simply stop doing that and you're enlightened. Listen to the rocks and the trees and the ocean, the animals in the forest and the jungle, who just live from birth to death, from moment to moment, doing whatever they need to do, whatever awareness motivates them to do and expresses through them. but never trying to improve or be more happy or be more peaceful, and never trying to reunite with their source. Because they are source, expressing itself. So they're simply being source. They would tell you, stop doing that. Stop trying to get someplace else, to get someplace better than you already are, or achieve something you already haven't achieved. And just be enlightened. The mind will never accept this, never accept non-change and just accept everything exactly as it is now, because minds don't do that. Minds are bound in time. They only know how to live in the future, a future where things will get better. That's their nature. The mind says, easy for you to say, accept everything exactly as it is, but I'm ill. Take that. I'm depressed. How about that? I'm broke, unpeaceful, lost, and alone. What are you going to do about that if we just allow everything to be as it is? That's what I want to know. That's what the mind will say. These are your mind's ideas based on its assumption that it is who you are, that your mind is who you are, a separate, unawake being who needs to fix all these things. This affliction and assumption that humans automatically come with a predicament called, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, things need to be different, I need to get somewhere better. This predicament is what we're addressing here. Now, it's okay. Since all humans seem to have this affliction, we need to accept that too. The good news is, having this affliction is only a problem if we identify with our minds. Otherwise, we can just watch it prattling on, soothe it, saying, yes, yes, I know you have this terrible affliction that things always need to be better, be different. I'm just going to let you prattle on while I allow everything to be just as it is, including that I have a poor afflicted mind, and feel the peace and freedom of that. So what about meditation? Sure. Come to meditation, sit with me or sit with another teacher or sit with each other in a group or sit by yourself at home. Close your eyes, go within and meditate. By all means. You're doing that by all means because awareness is expressing the desire to do that through you, not because the illusory you chose to meditate. And by all means, do it from a place of everything is perfect just as it is. The number of thoughts that are racing through your mind, and even what those thoughts are about, even if they're violent thoughts or sexual thoughts, whatever. They're all perfect. Everything is perfect. If you sit in meditation coming from that perfect place, you will already be sitting in the vastness, in the awareness, in the awakened state. If you sit in meditation going, I came here to meditate with this group and this teacher who may or may not be in a state of full awakening, and I'm expecting to get precise instructions from him or her and know just how to meditate. And then with those techniques that I was given, I plan to close my eyes and by my own willpower, by my own volition, just really go in there and pierce the veil with my keen meditation ability and the new technique that I was given. And I intend to go in there and pierce the veil and pop out through another side where awakening lives or enlightenment is. If that's how you come to meditation, unfortunately, you're deluding yourself. It's simply not going to work that way. Sorry. That's your mind. That's all mental. That's your mind thinking you are a separate I who's going to meditate themselves or technique themselves into awareness. It's not going to work that way because you are already awareness. And the minute that you hold yourself as a separate I that has to do things to get back to that, you're actually adding endarkenment to yourself instead of enlightenment. It's a conundrum. And in a sense, it's obvious that it could cause a conflicted feeling or confusion, but only in the mind, only in your mind. And you're not your mind. So you can listen to the mind for a minute saying, I'm conflicted. I don't understand. I don't understand this. If I'm already enlightened, how come I don't feel like it? If I'm already fully awake and one with awareness, then I shouldn't have to do anything to feel that. And yet, I don't feel it. So it puts me back, right back in the position of thinking, I need to get another technique going. Perhaps going to a different method, or perhaps reading another book, or I should talk to another teacher. That's it. Get away from this teacher who obviously doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Get with that teacher over there who's better, and their technique is better, and that sangha is better too. That group of people over there. That'll get me enlightened. It's very conflicting to the mind. So these are the kind of things our mind tries to say to devalue pure awareness. Because the mind can't feel awakened. Minds don't feel awakened. Egos don't feel enlightened. Enlightenment feels enlightened. Awareness feels fully aware and awake. You're trying to feel it through the mind, and then when the mind doesn't feel it, it feels conflicted, and it gives you these ideas trying to lead you somewhere to get it, some better way to get it. As long as you don't believe those ideas, you hear the mind, but you don't get sucked in and you don't give it any credence when you hear the mind cackling like that and, prattling away about what you need to do. As long as you hear all those mental ideas and you go, okay, mind, I hear you. And I know it's just noise, illusions, and ideas that unfortunately never work. I've got some history with you here. I'm just going to relax into the awareness I already am. Be who I am and what I am. Exactly. Then you're fine. You're fine. I love it when people come to sit with me in meditation because in our meditations, we expect absolutely nothing. Because we are absolutely nothing. We love sitting together, sometimes for just 15 minutes, sometimes for hours. Because we're not trying to get anywhere. We're not trying to improve anything or change anything. We're just being. And since it's that simple, in those kind of meditations, we find immediate ability to get up from the meditation, off the cushion, with eyes wide open, walking through the world, just being. We find no difference between the feeling and the expectations that we don't have when we're sitting for this thing called formal meditation, and the experience we have walking through the world in our daily life, before and after the meditation. We meditate because we like to, because it's lovely, not because it will take us someplace else, someplace better. It's connected much more to truth to approach it that way. So notice that as a human being, you probably have a mind that has this affliction to always want to improve things and get someplace better than you already are. And then look at the birds, look at the animals, the trees and the rocks, who don't seem to share this affliction of the constantly unsatisfied mind. And mimic them. Be who you are. Have your life. Allow everything to be as it is. I hope this was helpful. Namaste.